First grade, week 21, plants. Teachers, this week we're going to do T 10B, identify and compare parts of a plant. But we're going to start with that seed. I have a little lima bean seed here. And what I want the kids to do is make an observation of it. Is it living, non-living? What does it look like? How long is it? What color is it? What texture is it? What sound does it make when I drop it? Sounds like plastic. That's going to take them back to that living or non-living. They're going to be a little confused about that. So just to tell you, this is living. It's just in a dormant state because it doesn't have all of its basic needs met, which we know are water and sunshine, in order to do something. So kind of lead them and ask them what they think it might be. A lot of them are going to know it's a seed. Some of them are not. Make sure they make note of this. They see, I wish I could focus, but I can't tap it at the same time, so I'll just bring it back. It's kind of got a little bit of green color around there. And what we're going to start with is on this little data sheet right here, which the kids are going to keep. I'm going to have everyone ready for them. They're going to put today's date. They're going to write down their observations. It's white. It's smooth. Makes a sound when I drop it. Sounds like plastic. Might have an odor. They're going to measure it with their little inchworm ruler. And then they're going to draw it. And we're even going to, they could even lay it down there and trace it. That's fine. So, let's say I trace around my bean, which is kind of hard to do holding an iPad, but I'm going to do it. And maybe that's not exact, but I only have one hand. Make sure that you see them put that little dot at the top. It's going to be important. And then they're going to get to soak it in water. So the next, and I don't want to stretch this out over a week of soaking it in water, so I've already soaked them for you. And on the same day, we're going to take a soaked bean, and we're going to note the changes in it. Because, you know, that's what good science is. What kind of change do you see when you added water? So you'll notice that the skin is actually wrinkly. We actually ended up with the skin sliding off of this one. So they can look at that and see that that little strange indentation there is on the outside of the skin. Then when you are looking at the inside of the bean, which we're not going to call it the bean, we're going to call it an object. It's perfectly smooth, and it doesn't look like it could be anything but a piece of white plastic. So I hope that somebody gets a skin shed in the soaking. We'll try to get one because it's important. Then let them take that soaked bean and do the same thing. They'll notice immediately that it wrinkled, that it kind of changed colors, that it no longer makes the same sound. Has a little something coming out on the end of it there. So make sure that I'm going to lay that one down, and you can see just by using this piece of paper as an observation tool, they can notice that it's extremely bigger. And I'm going to look on my top here. Does it still have that? Yes. We'll color that in, and then I also notice there's something coming out of the end of it. So I'm going to draw that on here. So I have some changes. Now, it's going to have a different measurement. One thing we want to do is, on this observation, we're going to say added water. If water is not one of your words, then draw some droplets to show them we added water right here. And then what kind of changes did they notice? They saw wrinkled, color change, the sound changed, the size changed. So now you're going to start asking them, what do they think is going to happen? Why don't we turn this paper over and let them write a sentence. I think that, and I don't know what you're going to end up calling it. Are they going to call it a seed? Did they finally figure that out? Are they going to call it an object? I think that blank, blank, blank will happen. This is the beginning of a hypothesis. And let them fill in what their sentence is going to be. Give them that starter so that they can learn to write a hypothesis. And first graders can do it. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take that baggie. I'm going to have a little snack bag for you with a paper towel. Now, I'm not sure. I think you should get a fresh bean when you're there, not one they've handled, because if they break this off right here, their plant's not going to do anything. That's the beginning of that growth. You want to get a nice fresh one that has this intact and moist. These are coming laying here drying out. You're going to put them in their baggie. Make sure the kids' names are on them in Sharpie so they can see them on the window, and you're going to tape them to the window. I bought some of this big strapping tape so we can tape them up there pretty good. And I did snack size so we could get everybody's in the window. Then the next week when we come back to the lab, they'll bring their baggies with them to the lab.